All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Sam. I am one of the aquarists and penguin keepers here at the Aquarium of Niagara. And joining me, we have one of my coworkers.
Hello, my name is Alyssa. I'm an aquarist as well, and we're talking about our spotted turtles today.
So we have a few spotted turtles on exhibit here. And Liz happens to be our reptile expert on site. So Liz, can you tell us a little bit about what a spotted turtle is?
Yeah, definitely. So you're looking at one of them right now. He's one of our males, and we have 5 males and 1 female. I do have a couple out in the bin here for you guys so you can see them a little closer, but these are your spotted turtles. As you can see on their shell, they have all those bright yellow spots. That's pretty much how you can tell your spotted turtles. They stay really, really small. They won't get any bigger than what you see, which is right around 5 inches, I'd say. And they don't weigh anything more than a pound. So it makes them a pretty nice turtle to be taking into the pet trade, unfortunately. So that's why we're trying to showcase them here for you guys so we can educate you about them and their conservation status here. So it's just a small turtle. They really like the wetlands. Any clean ponds is what they're really gonna look for to live in, and they kind of just hang out all day, as you can see. The males are a little more feisty, so our only female is sitting up on the log back there. She's got some red and yellow on her butt area, it looks like. It's just a non-toxic paint we can put on them, but that's our female and the rest are our males.
Yeah, so like Liz was saying, these guys live in freshwater, so they're a freshwater turtle. They stay super tiny. They aren't very large. So since they live in freshwater, Liz, are they from around this area?
Yeah, that's a good question. They actually are. So spotted turtles can be found all on the eastern seaboard of the United States. You can find them up in Canada and all around our Great Lakes, actually. So they like the warmer weathers come summertime, but come wintertime, just like us, we like to hibernate. So they'll go down to the bottoms of the ponds that they're in, usually bury in the mud, and hang out there until springtime, and then that's when they start to become active again.
Now, you said that these guys are adults and that they don't get very large, like 5 inches.
Yeah.
So obviously that might make them really attractive pets.
Definitely.
So are they found on the pet trade? Are they supposed to be on the pet trade?
That's another great question, Sam. Thank you. So these guys are in the pet trade, unfortunately, and we would hope to get them out of the pet trade because they are so small. You see they can fit in the palm of your hand. Why wouldn't anybody want to hold this animal and hang out with them on a daily? But unfortunately, they need to live out in their natural habitat and kind of stay out there. So there's a bunch of things we can do to make sure their natural homes stay healthy. And that all leads back to, reducing pollution, trying to reduce any forestry that happens around their habitats. And even in the pet trade, we want to try and get them out of the pet trade, let them be in their natural habitat.
Definitely. So obviously they're super cute and we want to see them in their natural habitat, but what role do they play in that ecosystem, in the wetlands?
Yeah, definitely. So turtles, I guess we would try and talk about what they eat in accordance to that. So these guys love little insects. One of their favorites are mosquitoes. So what I've learned actually with Sam is that they are a big component that reduces your mosquito population. So without these guys and having the good numbers that they would eventually have, those mosquito populations will start to decrease. Hopefully you won't have them as much. So they eat a lot of mosquito, a lot of little insects, a lot of little critters, any crunchy stuff really for them.
Yeah, and those types of invertebrates, insects, and other larvae insects like that, they can sometimes carry diseases. They're vectors for transmitting all sorts of nasty stuff. So we want to make sure that those populations stay down, and these guys are a great way to help control those populations.
Yeah, definitely.
So with all of that considered, why do we showcase them here at the aquarium?
Because they're so close in our backyards, we want to show you some native species that you can be out on the look for yourself. If you're driving down the road and you see one trying to cross, maybe call your local DEC. Let them know that, they're here and we can keep an account on them, kind of. So with them, you know, the turtles, like I said, they are so small. They, you barely really notice them. So you kind of know where to look for them, I should say. This one's a little excited. We'll put them down.
So where did we acquire our spotted turtles from?
Okay, so our spotted turtles are 5 males. We got from the Seneca Park Zoo in the year 2001. They were hatched in 2000. So our males are all about 19 years old right now. I know, crazy to think since they're so small, but they are 19 years old. And then our female we got back in 2016 from a private donor. And we're assuming she's around the same age based on her scoots. They have kind of like a tree. If you can cut a tree and you see all the rings, turtle shells kind of have the same thing, the little annuli around them. It's like rings of a turtle shell. So that's kind of how we can figure out how old they are. To top that off, we can do monthly morphometrics with them, which is kind of just weighing them. You'll see I have paint on the back of their shells. Yeah, thank you. You'll see I've got some paint on the back of their shells. Each one has their own color because that's how I tell them apart. It's just like if I was to have to know their entire spot pattern every day. It's like me looking at Sam and trying to figure her out by the freckles on her face. It's too much. So we get some non-toxic paint that's very widely used in our field, and I just paint the back of their shells each month. On top of that, I'll measure them with just a ruler. I'll measure the length and their width. We'll weigh them out, get how much they weigh, and we'll keep track of those records monthly, and that's how we can use that data to help inform the rest of the world on, you know, how old this animal is based off of their weight and their size.
Yeah, and the goal, I'm thinking, eventually is to hopefully see them lay some eggs.
Yeah.
Right?
I would hope so.
So they're reptiles, they lay eggs.
Yep.
So can you tell us a little bit more about I mean, I'm more familiar with bird eggs, and you know, birds lay their eggs in a nest. These guys make a nest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's some similarities. So with reptiles, you know, these guys do lay eggs. So they want, the female I should say, before she lays her eggs, she'll want to find a nice sunny location that's away from all the noise, and she pretty much has some well-drained soil available where she can use her hind legs, dig the nest out, lay the eggs, and bury it back up. Those eggs will stay in that hole for, on average, of 45 to 80 days usually. With bird eggs, they're an average of 40 days. So we're almost double that with these reptiles. And then the crazy thing is that the temperature of their nests actually dictates whether the turtle is going to be a male or female. Oh, great, thanks.
Yeah.
So right up there it says our females laid with, you know, with the warmer temperatures, you'll have more females produced. My apologies. And then with cooler temperatures, you'll have probably more males being produced. So, you know, varying temperatures, even like 4 or 5 degrees, does make a great difference. So, you know, the female that's laying the eggs will find the best location to lay those eggs. Then when those eggs hatch, usually around August and September is when they'll come out. The little babies are no more than like 2 centimeters, not even an inch long. And then they'll just go along with their parents and kind of grow up along them.
So yeah, we've covered a lot of ground together today.
Yeah, we've given you a lot of information.
If you are just joining us, my name is Sam. I'm one of our aquarists and penguin keepers. Liz is another aquarist and our resident reptile expert. We've just been talking about our spotted turtles, how we are working with our local Department of Environmental Conservation in order to help bump up the population of this local species. They eat pests, they eat mosquitoes. We want to make sure they're in the natural habitat. And we're hoping eventually the ones that you see here will lay eggs and contribute to that population. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop up on the screen. We have our executive director, Gary Siddell, right behind the camera, so he'll certainly read that for us.
I did want to throw in some more knowledge to fill your brains.
Yeah.
Their conservation status. So right now, according to the IUCN, the red list, these guys are listed as endangered. So that pretty much means that there is a lot of need to keep their, I should say, habitats in the best condition possible, and that all stems from humans. We can definitely do something about that. Now, even under CITES, they're listed in the Appendix 2, which means that spotteds and lookalike spotteds all need to be pretty much safeguarded because their numbers are decreasing so drastically. So they are listed as endangered, so we want to do everything we can to help them. So that's why we want to exhibit them to you guys so you can see how beautiful a turtle they actually are.
Now, I think you have some food for them, right, Les?
Oh yeah, I do, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. What do they eat?
That's a good question. So when they're juveniles, babies, they're gonna eat a lot of protein. But right here I have omnivore gel diet. So pretty much, Missouri's the company we use, but they packed a lot of nutrients, a lot of supplements into little tiny pieces of gel. So it's just like making brownies except for the turtles. I pour some water with a little powder and I can cut up little cubes and then throw them on in and hopefully they'll eat them up. And that pretty much gives them all of their needed vitamins and supplements within a day for them. So now they'll get their greens every day as long as as well as protein. So they need both, but they're mostly omnivores.
And that means they'll eat both plant material and meat material.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Omnivorous diet, plant and greens.
Yeah.
Now these guys are thought to live around about 30 years on average, so they're almost, up to that age. And believe it or not, there was one recovered in Ontario back in 2018 that was 51 years old. He originally captured in 1983, so that was kind of really cool information that I found out. So they're a turtle that lives a long time. And now, another cool information, sorry I keep giving you lots. They don't mature until they're about 8 to 10 years old. So that means they have 8 to 10 years of not being able to reproduce. So we need to give them time in order to get to that stage to reproduce. So we don't want to keep pulling small, cute juveniles from their natural environment because they look cute. We just want to let them do what they're naturally supposed to do and repopulate as they should.
Do we have any questions back there? No? All right. Anything you might want to add before we take off today, Les?
I appreciate you guys joining us. Feel free to ask us anytime questions. You don't have to just wait till 2 p.m. every day. But we'd love to answer anything, and we hope you enjoyed our segment today.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Even though we are closed, we are still here caring about our animals. We're still here caring about our community. And join us every day at 2 o'clock because we will be here with something fun and something new.